So I used to have this joke with Bret. I said every night I play every one of those songs I play for you, but every rose I play for the fans, because, I mean, if you hit that wrong, they will tell me. If I play it right every night, they will walk up to me and tell me, "Oh my God, you're a great guitar player. You did that thing so great." If I play it wrong one night, I'm the worst. It's on the internet the next day. I think that in 5 years, I think I've fumbled it maybe twice or 3 times. Or I think one night I was like, I'm just going to do my own thing. And boy, I can do whatever I want on that stage, but mess that solo up. You got to do that one right, you know.
How is it now? I guess being 5 years deep now into it, like recording a whole new album you have now, is it a different feeling in this album compared to the first one, the first solo?
You know, it's funny. Me and Bret just constantly make music. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
So we have a studio on our bus. We have a studio at his house. We have a studio at my house. And we just make music. So when we get a bunch of songs, we put a record out. So there's been an evolution song by song, not record by record. And so, like, in my head, we're just making one giant record. It's lasted 5 years, even though we've put out, you know, a few. It just, to me, it's the song, and a record is a catalog. By definition, a record is a catalog of music, and to me, it's each one's a piece of art. And a lot of times, me and Bret get real excited like kids, and Bret gives me the approval to put the stuff out for sale on iTunes. You know, a couple of the songs from the new record, we just got excited and called the guys and said, "Hey, put this up for sale right now," because he's still a kid about music, and I'm still a kid. As soon as I'm done with it, I'm excited. I want the world to hear it. You know, and Bret, you know, for all that he is, he's actually a true independent artist.
Yeah.
You know, he will hire in or use the people in the big wigs that he needs to get the job done. He makes his own rules. Let me tell you, everyone that thinks the grunge era, that those guys kind of came in and did their own thing, there was a lot of record labels and rules there too. Bret Michaels, without a doubt, and CeCe have always done exactly what they wanted and done it their way. True independent artists, you can't imagine how true that is, and so it's wonderful to just be part of somebody like Bret at 47 years old. At 47 years old, he is still more punk rock than most of the guys you know, because he does exactly what he wants when he wants. And if you tell him to do something different, he's not going to do it.
Well, it's like the whole, you know, doctors all told him, you know, American Idol, don't do it.
Oh, no.
Relax, the rest of everyone. I mean,
his dad, me, right up till today, I looked him right in the eyes. I said, "Bret, do you really want to do this?" I mean, you know, my comment to him had been, "I would love you to be around so your daughters know how great you are, instead of me having to tell them how great you were." And I told him that 3 times. I spent all 10 days in the hospital with him, and watched this all happen. And it's funny because he shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be like, his body shouldn't be ready. It's truly amazing. I've watched the doctors tell him. I've seen all this stuff happen. And but he got up there tonight and he did it. We all saw it. We were all right there. We saw it. He didn't jump quite as high as he normally does, but he got up and did it. So, you know, the funny thing about Bret, especially being a diabetic, is when they were in the hospital at the Barrows or however you say it, one of the best hospitals in the world in Phoenix, and they were trying to control his blood sugars. Right now, the week before when he had the appendectomy and after the hemorrhage, both doctors, I heard them with my own ears say that we've never seen a diabetic, or most people at 47, in the shape he's in, the health he's in, right? He is a health nut, you know? And so they tried to, I don't want to get medical because I learned a whole lot, but for like a week, they tried to balance his blood sugars their way. He's been doing it his whole life, since he was 6 years old, right? And they couldn't get his blood sugars right, and it was a big mess. And Bret just said to the doctor, said, "Look, can you just let me do it the way I've been doing it my whole life? I know my body better than anybody." And they were real reluctant to that. And they said, "Fine, you just do what you got to do." And he took his insulin. He does this mixture of, I don't know what he does. He's like a little chemist in his own way, you know. And he fixed his blood sugars right up, right in front of the doctors. And he's a unique human being. He knows his body better than anyone. And the doctors learned to respect that. And the doctors said, if you think you can do it, we can't stop you. You know.
Oh yeah. I mean, coming on stage tonight was a miracle in itself.
It was.
But for him, that was like that was his drug. That's what he needed. He needed that.
It's funny you say that because everybody was real freaked out about them letting him out of the hospital when they did, but the story, the way I've told it a few times, it's like a great white shark. Bret's an alpha male, like a shark is an alpha predator, right? And they can't keep a great white shark in captivity. You know what I'm saying? They put him in the water, they feed it everything it needs to maintain, and they die. I don't know if you know much about that. They can't keep a great white. And Bret in that room was like a great white. He was dying in the room. And the doctors were smart enough to see that. You got this guy is a free spirit as it gets. And so you had to let him go, and it made him more healthy. There were people that were in there for the same reason he was, and they died. And he was watching people die around him for the same thing he had, and that was killing him, you know? And Bret has a lot more to prove. Bret, I guarantee you, I don't want to knock any of the other bands from his genre, but I guarantee you his bank account's bigger than all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And he doesn't have to do anything ever again. But he wakes up every day like he's never, ever had a hit song in his life, and gets out there, and it's just a unique individual because he still believes in his heart, you know. It's so, and it's funny because a lot of people have given Poison some slack over the years. I mean,
oh yeah, I mean, all the 80s bands about his shit on him.
Everybody, you know.
Hair metal vibe. But look, he's never stopped.
He never stops. Poison to this day is still an arena band. You've never seen them play a club. They never had to go back to the clubs. When Bret takes the solo band into the clubs, he's doing that so he can get that intimacy. He's never, but he's doing it because he wants to. I'm not naming any names, but there's a handful of them that have to pay some bills and didn't save their money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know quite a few.
if Bret gets on a stage to play at a venue, you know, one of these 5,000 seat type of venues, he's doing that because he wants to.
Yeah.
And that's what's great. There's not a lot of people that have gone 25 years and 25 million records and actually still gets up and likes to play music. It's neat.
But he has that passion, like the whole band, like y'all have that same drive and passion. Y'all never made it maybe as high as he was or he is.
No. But at 37 years old, I get to feed my children by playing my guitar. There's not a better gift in the world, you know.
That's the ultimate dream, music your whole life. That's it, you accomplished that, man.
Yep.
Very
sorry, man. I do all kinds of.
I hear
my life. So.
All right, man. Good show tonight, dude. I appreciate it, man.